Hey family, welcome. Hey everyone, it is none other than your favorite Auntie Jai, natural vegan chef, author, teacher, artist, etc, etc. But enough about me. Welcome to our first ever episode of Discussions and Desserts. Oh, I'm super excited to start this with you guys today, okay? This is the only pro-black revolutionary vegan cooking show I know. All right, so with that being said, now before we begin, I'd like to have a question of the day, and the question of the week actually, and this week's question is, what is your strongest internal strength and how have you grown with that? Okay, so make sure you DM me, comment, etc. Make sure you put it somewhere where I can see it. I want to see your guys' responses out there, and do me a favor. Please be decent and appropriate. If you have any comments that are unacceptable to my taste, especially if it has anything to do with the sexual nature, you will be blocked because I did not come to play with you hoes. Okay? Now with that being hot water here for my tea. Today's tea is going to be a ginger turmeric. Our dessert for today is a delicious maple vanilla oatmeal cookie. I'm super excited about this, guys. It's been a kick for mine. And our topic of discussion today is predators, the effects of predators, and some things that we can do as a community to take care of them. So I should say. Okay, so get your notebooks out and let's get to it. First things first, what you're going to need is 1 cup of whole wheat, organic unbleached pastry flour, or you can use spelt flour as well. You're going to need 1 cup of organic rolled oats, and you're going to need a little sprinkle of some pink Himalayan sea salt, couple sprinkles. I like that hint of salty taste, so I always add like 1 more pinch than the recipe would probably normally call for. And then I'm going to use my ancestral skill and wisdom to sprinkle some baking soda in there. Baking soda, we need baking soda. And then I'm going to mix this up really well to make sure everything's nice and evenly mixed. I do have some disclaimers for you guys, like make sure that your oven is preheated to 375. No, that's not the actual disclaimer. Just make sure you do that. The first disclaimer is that I am completely aware that we as a people have been made the way we are as a result of being colonized and as a result of white supremacy. Okay? So keep in mind that I know that before you guys jump in my comment section talking about it's the white man's fault, because it is. But that does not absolve us of our responsibility to fix or change things. Okay? Disclaimer number 2 will come to you right after we mix this butter. Now this here is my favorite vegan butter. It's about 1/2 cup, and this one's made from nuts. If you have a nut allergy, do yourself a favor, find you a vegan butter that does not have nuts or soy in it, and then if not, then use coconut oil. This is some pure unrefined coconut sugar, nice and organic, nice and delicious. We're just gonna pour that right on in there. See that? Just like that. And then what we're going to do is take this pure natural vanilla extract. If you have vanilla bean, even better, but I don't have vanilla bean at this time. So we're just gonna guide that hand on up in there. I like to taste the vanilla. I think that should be about enough. And then we have this dark colored grade A maple syrup. Yum, yum, yum. Let it guide you. Let it quit. There we go. And I'm just using my NutriBullet or Magic Bullet thing here, whatever kind of butter you have. If you don't, grab a whisk and get to whip it up. Whip it up. Look at the friggin' wrist. Stop. Alright, I'm just going to shake this up a little bit. Put this NutriBullet there. While that's going, my next disclaimer, I hope you all can hear me. My next disclaimer is that I understand and I'm aware that not all black men operate like this. However, the ones that do are out of control, and many predators oftentimes have multiple victims, and not enough is being done about it. Give this a pause. Give this a shimmer and a shake. Okay, and not enough is being done about it because a lot of these predatory behaviors have been normalized and protected in our communities. Okay, predators often have multiple victims, and some aren't even aware that they're engaging in predatory behaviors. That's why what is consent is extremely important. wish this could be quieter, y'all. But this looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is take this good stuff in here. Ooh, look at that. Look at it, look at it, look at it. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Just a little bit. Okay. We about to have some cookies, y'all. We about to have some cookies. Take this little spatch here. Go ahead and scrape all of this out. And like I was just saying, with disclaimer number 4, I am well aware that yes, all white men are like the most vile and despicable and predatory people on this planet. It's a fact. I am well aware of this, okay? However, that does not excuse, even though it's learned behavior, it does not excuse the predators of our community. Enough of this whole making excuses or shifting the blame, keeping us from handling the responsibilities of getting the bullshit out of our community. Okay? We're not shifting the blame anymore. We're going to work on ourselves, handle ourselves, and get ourselves together so that we'll be in the condition to fight white supremacy. Okay? And also, you know, white men being the most terrible person on the planet or not does not change the fact that within the black community, yes, we know black on black crime is a really thing in proximity, etc. I don't care about what other people do to each other. I care about what happens to us. And as far as we go, this is something that needs to be handled and resolved. So what I'm doing now is I'm just mixing and mashing and mixing and mashing until all of the flour and oats are completely blended and mixed with the butter. Feel free to use your hands. I just do not have the time to keep having to wash my hands. We're pressed for time on this IG live, so I'm just gonna use this bamboo paddle that I have here to get the results that I'm looking for. Okay. Also, I'm well aware that brothers are victims of sexual assault, molestation, etc. as well, and sisters can be predators as well. That is a separate video for a separate time, but it will be addressed because it is a thing. Oh man, that means that we are pretty much a little pressed for time. We've got about 2 minutes left on IG Live before it's time for us to finish the rest of this video on the YouTube channel. So before I get into anything else, kind of want to let you guys know what we're going to do next here and kind of wrap it up. So basically, please feel free to finish this episode. Please finish this episode on my YouTube channel. It is Jylynn Heads. You know what? I'm just going to get my hands in here. It is Jylynn Heads, JYLYNN and the same title of this discussion and desserts episode will be the same title of the continuation or the complete episode of this on our YouTube channel as well. I have so much content in store for you guys and so much already on the page. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. It don't make no sense on why you ain't already, okay? With that being said, also be sure to follow, make sure I don't lose a cheat. Also be sure to follow my business Instagram page for more recipes and information on my vegan chefing-ness and growing your own food and things of that nature. And that is yofavorite.auntiejys. Again, that's at yofavorite.auntiejys. And I'll make sure that's somewhere visible for you guys to see as well. What else? Thank you so much for joining me on my first IG Live episode, or IGTV episode of Discussions and Desserts. And make sure you guys comment me, DM me, let me know you guys' answer for the question of the week and what you guys think and all of these other things as well. And I definitely look forward to hearing from you guys and growing with you guys and affecting change in our community. So I love you all, family. And on that note, we're going to peace it out for now. And I'm going to keep on going here, and I'll see you guys on my YouTube channel for the rest of this video. Hey, if you are watching me now, you are watching me on the YouTube channel. Welcome. Glad to have you. I'm still pretty much, mixing up the rest of this cookie dough. If yours is coming out a little more crumbly than expected, either A, your butter is not melted more, or B, you might need a little more liquid. So I say feel free to add a little more melted butter, or even a little bit more of this here maple. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to drizzle a little more maple in, and then I'm going to sprout in a little more vanilla. And that should really just be just enough liquid to get the stickiness that I'm looking for. Okay, so where did we leave off? Oh, I guess we're getting into the main tea. Yeah, it's important to come to the YouTube channel because sometimes we don't even get to start the main tea on the IG. But I just want to make a full disclaimer that we are not here to shift blame, but we are here to take accountability and responsibility of ourselves, our communities, and our own destiny, okay? And at this time, I'll let that mix sit in this oven, and I'm going to grab my stick of butter here, and I am going to butter my pan. Now, we are buttering the pan for good reason, okay? We want the bottom of these cookies to have that nice little golden, coated bottom, a kind of crunch to it. It's like super good and a really good cookie, okay? And we do it like that so that have that nice little crunch around the edges, but that chewy, comforting goodness in the middle. So I'm gonna ball it. And if yours is still coming a little crumbly, please make sure you add some more butter to it. I'm gonna ball it. I'm gonna flatten it. Here we go, about this size. And I'm just gonna place it in one of the corners. And then I'm going to do that I'm using aluminum pans here, but feel free to use baking sheets, baking trays, what's it called? Parchment paper, or, whatever you've got in your home. We are kings and queens of the Hood Magic production, dollar out of 15 cents. Make it work over here, okay? Now, if you really love black women, if you really love black people, you have to love black women because we make black people, okay? And if you love black women, then it's so important that you listen to everything that I'm about to say following and take it completely seriously and then act accordingly, act responsibly to what it is that I'm going to be telling you guys today, okay? So, I am a black woman, clearly, that has been victimized since I was about 5 years old. I told, nothing really happened. My preteens into my teens was really pretty much spent with me being hypersexualized. If you remember from earlier, I told you guys to preheat that oven to 375. I'm going to take these cookies here. So they look in there. And we're going to pop them in this oven. Should only be in there for about 10 to 15 minutes, and they should be good. Being hypersexualized, trying to avoid being prostituted and shit. That's how I spent my adolescent years. Oh, there's still some. Make sure you get all the sugar mix, okay? You need it all. You need every drop, I promise you. When I was 13, I had a stalker. I told my papa, and he told me to stop being fast out there. I wasn't fast at all. I was far from fast, actually. But hey, that was that. My sisters and my play sisters were molested by our play brothers, and one of my sisters told, and a lot of the girls from Nutty Block ended up, my little sister, who y'all taste that coconut sugar buttercream. Taste it, those of y'all making this at home as well, okay? Yeah, so He ended up getting put away. However, seeing the response to the community against the behavior committed on my sisters and my play sister made me a lot more reluctant to want to speak up as well. Shortly after, when I was 15, after I gave up my virginity, I was raped on 3 separate occasions by 3 separate men who I thought were my friends, both orally and vaginally. And afterwards, I did talk to one about it, and he did apologize, but I was afraid to tell because of the context of the situation. You know, I knew I would get in trouble because I was places I shouldn't have been with people I shouldn't have been there with, and ultimately it was that fear that caused me to blame myself and never, like, really, I guess, fully deal with what happened to me. Like I said, I did talk to one, and he did apologize, and that was that. Since then, most of my sexual encounters have been, adding that rest of that mix that was on the bottom of the bullet really, really changed the game with this mix like I was looking for. But since then, most of my sexual assaults or my engagements had been by coercion, basically. And coercion does not equal consent. If you don't know what coercion is, Google it. If you don't know what consent is, you shouldn't be having sex. With that being said, when I was 21, I was raped in my college apartment by the homeboy of my crush, who was also like a big brother to me on Halloween weekend. I told the big brother, and nothing happened. At 21 also, a man who I was involved with at the time caught me coming out the shower and was like, "Oh, if you had a long weave in, we could make so much money off of you." Excuse me? Yeah, no, he was trash. Oh, I met him at church. Yeah, that's when I was coming out of Christianity. What else? Oh, when I was 22, I entered into a situationship with a conscious brother. He was an older guy, and I spent much of the time being coerced into sex that I did not want to have, which will also kind of explain why I spent the majority of that relationship being extremely sexually unsatisfied. I mean, when someone doesn't want to do it and then you pressure them to do it anyway, it's going to be kind of difficult for them to enjoy it maybe as much as you. And that wasn't every time, but a lot of the time he just had a super habit of pushing the issue. And in his head, oh, you want it, you're just playing hard to get, or you're just, trying to, I guess, be classy. I don't know, whatever the case may be. And by this age, it also had been normalized to me that this is just how this is going to go. This is just what sex is supposed to be like to you. Some, pressured, forced, unenjoyable experience where it's not about you or what you want at all. And it's all about how the man feels and what he, how you can make him feel. So that was depressing, as you can imagine. I put up with it for far longer than I should have because of all his lies and blatantly lied in empty promises of potentially having a committed future, which was important for me because I had never been committed to it. Always been a situationship or a F-buddy thing or something on the low, something that you can poke on, but not something that you would commit to, which is the story, unfortunately, of a lot of black women. And that idea definitely comes from those breeding plantations in slavery. Okay, so now my cookie bowl is basically empty, and we've got the rest prepped to go on rotation in and out the oven. Each batch is going to sit in that oven for about 10 to 15 minutes or so, and it's going to be straight from there. Oh, my water is nice and hot. Yes, yes. I love this little orange teapot, you guys. My mom actually got it for me from Ross. It was just so cute. It was like $3 or $4. So I dropped that in there. Set this down here. And I love it because you put the little top on the teapot. And then look, guys, the teapot can also keep the cup of tea warm. This thing is just the cutest thing ever. Somebody black, start making your own version of these so I can get a whole set from you to do tea with the girls and stuff. Those who know me know that's like my thing. Tea with the girls, gotta do tea with the girls. All right, where was I? Oh yeah, in September, I was actually raped by a guy that I had stopped dating months before. And that was super shitty because I knew he wasn't shit, but I never thought he would rape me. He had made it until I was completely incoherent, despondent, no actual functioning over my own body to rape me. And even though I could not physically leave if I wanted to because I had no control over my body, I was too intoxicated, me crying and and stop and try to make it as difficult as possible. It did not deter him. And the irony is, he never came. And of course, I was being raped, so I never came. And that was just a whole big ass waste of everybody's time and energy. Unnecessary trauma. Nobody won from that situation. So, yeah. Next, shortly after, I called myself falling for this Nigerian guy that I really, really, really liked. If you haven't noticed, I don't really need sweetener in my tea very often. I just like the taste of good tea. But I really like this Nigerian guy, and he was the first guy ever in my life to ever actually offer to commit to me. He really actually wanted me to be his girlfriend, and that was like super important to me because, again, I had never, no one had ever taken me seriously like that, even though I'm clearly like a classic textbook definition of a phenomenal woman. But anyways, but he, like all the other men, but a little more aggressively, treated my body more so like property. Like my body wasn't my own, it was his. And he had an incredibly unhealthy obsession with my ass. When he raped me, like, that was just, I just couldn't, that sent me almost off the deep end, guys. And the last time he did was like the worst time because I had been abused in a way I'd never been abused before. Not only once I had passed out, I was about to leave the country, we were drinking, smoking, didn't want to just say temporary farewells, which became a permanent farewell. And I ended up, crashing, passing out early on his bed. And he took that time while I was asleep to assault me vaginally. And also, other times he assaulted me orally. And this also particular time, he had sodomized me, knowing how vehemently against anal play I was. So, of course, that was that last straw. Left the country, came back, sent him some videos on consent, tried to talk to him about it because I really liked him and I did not want, I did not want this to, I didn't want it to be what it was, but I knew I shouldn't do it in the first place because even though a lot was great, enough was wrong for me to know that we were not going to work like that. But I went against my intuition and that's what happened. But when I tried to talk to him about it, he immediately got offended and started victim blaming me. That's always fun. For generations, I, like many black women, suffer from the dehumanizing objectification and results of hypersexualization. I know that's a lot of syllables and a lot of words, but just bear with me here, okay? We're treated like we're worth nothing more than our bodies, and that this is our nature, and it's what we deserve. We don't know what we want. No matter what we say, it's not about us. You know best, and you know what's best for us. Doesn't any of that sound familiar to you? Because it definitely sounds like the mentality of our oppressors and our slave masters. To me, let's look at Jasmine Eilands. She was recently separated, but before that she was a wife. She's a mother of 3. She has a degree. She had a management position and a decent job. You know, she was a general sister doing her thing. She went out for her B-Day in January and was raped 2 times at Opera nightclub in Atlanta. 1 time on the dance floor. Other people seen it and recorded it, and no one helped her. They watched her get carried off to another dark place where no one was around, where she was raped again. And on top of that, you know, she found out she was pregnant while going to get a rape kit. You know, imagine all that. And then you have the public, black people, black men and women coming at you all kinds of crazy and sideways. And yeah, there's a lot of us out there who support her and who agree with her, and other victims from the same person is coming out and speaking out as well. But the loudest people in your face are the ones who are trying to blame you. Oh, you're just trying to take a black man down, and oh, you thought you were, oh, this and the third, going in on this girl. She attempted to take her own life a couple of weeks ago because of this. These things really affect us, you know, not to mention the people who have and are still supporting R. Kelly's ain't shit trifling ass. No, it's not that many left, but there's still too many. Let's check on these cookies. Oh, looking good. Those only just need a couple more minutes, just a couple more minutes. You know, but all these people still out here supporting R. Kelly and stuff. He had a whole squad helping him to destroy the lives of so many black girls, and we have, you know, people out here really still wanting to listen to his music. That boy can sing. Someone in the comments tell me what movie reference that is. I want to know if y'all know. But the point is, this is just despicable at this point in time. You know, I have a daddy. I have an active father. My young childhood was full of hugs and kisses and love and all that, but I still wasn't safe and protected. I'm saying this to say that if you look at all my different stories, I've been with business owners, I've been with conscious men, I've been with older men, I've been with college boys, church men, and all these different men were still predators. They still preyed on me and assaulted me and violated my space and my chest. Okay? And many of us have fathers and brothers and cousins and uncles and friends and play brothers and this and the third. And sometimes the men who are supposed to protect us are the ones hurting us. But far too often are these men who aren't hurting us still not protecting us. A lot of us women are surrounded by men that we love and care about and admire and look up to, but these men are not protecting us. We don't even feel like we can call on them when things like this happen to us. And it's affecting us as a community, and it's especially affecting us as sisters, but as a community. And I sit here today in front of you guys, like, comfortable and feminine, partly because I'm in front of a camera and not actually people. But it took forever for me to get to this space because I spent my life being, you know, afraid of my femininity and hiding from it because it was often taken and perverted as this hypersexualized, like, perverted idea of myself. You know, and that was always extremely bothersome to me. And after my last set of assaults, y'all, I had nothing left. When I say nothing left, like I had no motivation, no capacity for trust. Get out of bed. I don't feel safe. I overate. I have like no sex drive or desire. Couldn't sleep throughout the night. Had to, you know, smoke or drink just to fall asleep for like 2 months. Dressed like a dyke to avoid any kind of attention, especially sexual attention. Avoided cameras, mirrors, social media. I was a complete mess. I spent almost every night crying, especially at night. You know, night terrors. Can't close my eyes for too long because the first thing I envision is my assaults. All this shit is recently. I'm just coming out of this. Like, I was hanging on the edge. I didn't want to be touched. I was angry. I'm angry, so effing angry. And I found myself in a space that I never wanted to be in ever again. And the only reason why I didn't lose my mind is because I crave healing. and I have a strong sisterhood to back me up. I had to cut off, like many toxic relationships, especially men in my life who were just sucking me dry, okay? And healing is a process. It's like building muscle. And so I'm a work in progress right now. I'm not complete, but I'm on my way. However, every man who has abused or assaulted or hurt me is still alive and free today. And that seriously bothers me because I really don't know what to do about it. And I also don't have anybody I can call to help me do something about it, and I really need y'all brothers to know, especially, that I, like many black women, have no one we can call to take care of these men. Or we feel like we have no one we can call to take care of these men. Black women and children, who don't swirl, are the responsibility of good black men, period. No question, no debate about it. And there is no reason why so many of us don't feel like there's anyone we can call on who is going to actually handle business and make sure that we're safe in our communities, okay, to deliver the consequences and repercussions. Another movie reference, I want someone in the comment section to tell me what that movie reference is, for the predators in our community. And we know that there's ways to get stuff done and to keep people taken care of and handled without involving the popo, the Wolves 5 or whatever. Other groups and races of people have been getting stuff like this done for a minute now. I'm sorry, y'all. This buttercream tastes so good. Okay, I'm stop. I end up eating the whole batter. Hold on. Okay. What's the last one? This discussion does not have me here to bash brothers, okay? It's a call to action. Good brothers, be about it, okay? I don't want to hear, no, not all. We know not all, but it's not enough of y'all. You guys are not out here outweighing the damage of the predators right now. We got to step it up. We got to, okay? Make every black woman around you know, not just feel, but know that they are safe and secure around you and can depend on you and account for you to be a man, to be a black man, a king, a leader, a protector. Every black woman should feel that way around you. And we also need to learn more about and then continue to educate the youth about consent and about protection. And they need to know what to do in these situations and stuff as well. I'll add some helpful links in the description box to some things that you guys can check out that very easily and very lightheartedly break down what is and isn't consent and all that jazz. What's this say? Okay, cool. So make sure you guys check out those links, share them, etc. Okay? Organize locally, like the Deacons of Defense did. Train, create an organization or a hotline or something and make your presence known in your community so that sisters know that we have brothers that we can rely on and depend on. And this is not supposed to be used to be getting booty and to promote your, polygamous agenda and all your other no-tap bullshit. We need real solid brothers out here being real solid brothers, okay? And train the women and girls in self-defense and train the boys and men in interference defense. And sisters, vet these men. Evaluate your brothers, your cousins, your uncles, your dad, your homeboys, your play brothers, your kinfolk, whoever the case. And if they are not up to task as a black man, if they are not handling their responsibilities as protectors and providers and securers of our community, tell them they need to level up or get cut off, period. I only personally know one brother who's proven with receipts with the S, that he's really about protecting black women. And you really need a brother to knock some heads and get some shit done in the name of protecting a black woman? I only know one. And it's not a dad, or he's not my dad, not my uncle, not my cousin, not, one of my homeboys, not nobody I'm dating, not none of that. I know one. And I just gave you guys a list, a vague list of men that I know that are predators. And I know a lot more men who are not predators, but they're not really about that life to do something about them either. And that is unacceptable and highly, embarrassingly disproportionate, and that needs to change, okay? So keep that in mind. Once again, I love y'all, and remember, you have to know yourself to love your people. Black love, black pride, black power. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. If you haven't already, go watch this on my IGTV. Hit me up, DM me, comment me, etc. with your answer to the question of the week, so that you can get a chance to be featured on next week's episode. And for those who don't make next week's episode, many of you guys will be chosen to be featured on my YouTube or on my Instagram story as well. And also pay attention to my Instagram story so that you know what's going on, what's coming up, and so that you can be very involved in this growth process. I thank you guys all for your love and support. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next episode. Peace.